Good evening, lost soul. You who scrolls in the dead hours, seeking something to make your skin crawl, to remind you that you're still capable of fear. I am the Howlerist. Tell me, have you ever considered that the most beautiful things in nature are often the most deadly? That evolution doesn't waste its artistry on warnings we'll heed? If this sounds like your kind of nightmare, then subscribe, join the pack. Tonight, we're diving deep into waters where beauty hides death in the palm of your hand, where a single curious touch can steal your final breath. Let's begin. The blue rings of death. There's something primal about the ocean's call. Salt air fills our lungs, waves whisper ancient secrets, and we wade into waters that seem so peaceful, so safe. But beneath that tranquil surface, death wears the most beautiful disguise. In the shallow tide pools where children play, in the coral gardens where divers explore, there lives a predator so small you could hold it in your palm. A creature of breathtaking beauty that glows with the vibrant colors of the ocean itself. But those colors carry a warning, and that warning is your only chance. This is the story of the blue-ringed octopus, a family of tiny assassins carrying enough poison to kill 26 people with a single bite. A reminder that the most terrifying monsters aren't born of myth. They're born of evolution's cold, calculating hand. The beautiful killers. The blue-ringed octopus isn't a single species, but a family of 4 closely related killers found across the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Each one a masterpiece of lethal engineering. Barely larger than a golf ball, but carrying enough venom to end dozens of lives. The greater blue-ringed octopus, Hapalochlaena lunulata, prowls the waters from Japan to Australia. Its cousin, the southern blue-ringed, Hapalochlaena maculosa, claims the cooler southern waters as its domain. The blue-lined octopus, Hapalochlaena fasciata, with its distinctive linear patterns, haunts the eastern Australian coast. And the common blue-ringed, Hapalochlaena nearstraci, the smallest of the family, lurks in the tropical shallows. 4 species, 4 different hunting grounds, one shared gift for death. These creatures are masters of deception. At rest, they're unremarkable, mottled brown and beige, perfectly mimicking the rocks and sand of their environment. They wait with infinite patience in crevices, under ledges, buried in the seafloor. A child reaching for a pretty shell might never see the predator hiding beneath, but threaten one of these creatures, even accidentally, and you'll witness one of nature's most spectacular and final warnings. In seconds, their dull skin erupts into brilliant, pulsing rings of electric blue. 60 or more iridescent circles blazing across their body like neon signs. It's hypnotic. It's beautiful. And it's telling you to run. This isn't just for show. Those rings are linked directly to the octopus's emotional state, controlled by specialized cells called chromatophores. The brighter the rings, the more agitated the animal. The more agitated the animal, the more likely it is to bite. Most predators see those rings and flee. Evolution has taught them that such vibrant warnings usually mean death. But humans, we see beauty. We see something worth photographing, worth touching. And that curiosity has cost lives. The invisible assassin. What makes this deadly inhabitant truly dangerous isn't just its venom, it's how perfectly it disappears. When calm, these creatures become living ghosts, their camouflage so complete they seem to vanish into the reef itself. They inhabit exactly the places we love to explore. Shallow tide pools where families search for sea creatures. Coral gardens where snorkelers glide just meters below the surface. Rocky crevices where divers reach with unprotected hands. The water is warm, clear, inviting. The perfect place for an encounter that could be your last. From the temperate waters of southern Australia to the tropical reefs of the Philippines, across the vast Indo-Pacific, these tiny killers have claimed their territory. They prefer depths of 20 to 50 meters, but they're just as happy in knee-deep tide pools where children play. The geographic spread tells its own story. Australia reports the most encounters, not surprising given the country's love affair with the ocean and the octopus's abundance in Australian waters. But incidents have been recorded from Papua New Guinea to Japan, from India to the Solomon Islands. Anywhere the warm currents of the Pacific and Indian Oceans meet coral and rock, the blue-ringed octopus waits. What's particularly chilling is how these encounters happen. There's rarely any aggression from the octopus. They're not hunters of humans. We're far too large to be prey. Instead, these are accidents. A hand reaching into the wrong crevice. A foot stepping on what looked like empty sand. A curious touch of something colorful and beautiful. The octopus, startled and trapped, does the only thing it can. It bites. The perfect poison. The venom of this marine assassin isn't like other poisons you might know. A snake's venom destroys tissue, burns through flesh, but this is something else entirely. Surgical in its precision. Tetrodotoxin. Even the name sounds cold and clinical, which is fitting because this is nature's perfect killing tool. Over 1,000 times more lethal than cyanide, it's produced by bacteria living in the octopus's salivary glands, a partnership millions of years in the making. What makes tetrodotoxin truly horrifying is that it doesn't attack your organs or poison your blood. Instead, it cuts the wires between your brain and your muscles, severing every nerve signal one by one. It's a neurotoxin that turns your own nervous system against you. The bite itself is barely noticeable, a pinprick that many victims don't even realize has happened until the symptoms start. First comes a strange tingling in the lips and tongue. Then that numbness spreads like ice water through your veins. Here's the cruelest part. Your mind stays sharp and crystal clear. You can see, hear, think perfectly. But your body becomes a prison. You try to speak and nothing comes out. Try to move your hand and it won't obey. The paralysis climbs higher, claiming muscle after muscle, until only one remains working. Your diaphragm, the muscle that lets you breathe. You feel your chest tighten, your lungs burning for air that won't come. And through it all, you're awake, aware, watching your own body shut down piece by piece in perfect, terrifying silence. 20 minutes. That's all it takes for tetrodotoxin to complete its work. The medical reality. There is no antidote. Let that sink in for a moment. No injection that can reverse the venom's effects. No medication that can restore the severed connections between brain and muscle. Once tetrodotoxin enters your system, your survival depends entirely on one thing: keeping you breathing until your body processes the poison naturally. When a victim of this creature arrives at a hospital, medical staff face a terrifying reality. They can monitor vital signs, they can manage pain, but they cannot cure the paralysis. The only treatment is life support, a ventilator that breathes for you when your diaphragm fails. If artificial respiration begins before respiratory failure sets in completely, survival is possible. The venom doesn't damage organs permanently. It simply blocks the signals that control them. Given time, usually 24 to 48 hours, the body can break down the tetrodotoxin and restore normal function. But time is the enemy. In remote locations, far from medical facilities, that 20-minute window becomes a death sentence. Even in developed countries with advanced emergency services, the speed of symptom onset can overwhelm response times. The fortunate survivors describe the experience as a living nightmare, conscious throughout the entire ordeal, able to hear doctors and family members, but unable to respond, feeling the ventilator force air into their lungs while their body remains completely unresponsive. Some report that the psychological trauma of the paralysis is worse than any physical pain. A deadly comparison. To understand just how potent the blue-ringed octopus truly is, consider its place among nature's most venomous creatures. The inland taipan, often called the world's most venomous snake, produces enough venom in a single bite to kill 100 people. Impressive, until you realize that a blue-ringed octopus carries enough tetrodotoxin to kill 26 adults, despite being roughly the size of a ping-pong ball. Box jellyfish, cone snails, sea snakes, all deadly residents of the same waters where blue-ringed octopuses hunt. But their venoms, while lethal, cause different types of death: pain, tissue destruction, cardiac arrest. The blue-ringed octopus offers something far more sinister: a silent, suffocating end while your mind remains trapped and aware. Even more disturbing is the heat stability of tetrodotoxin. Unlike most biological toxins that break down when cooked, this poison remains deadly at any temperature. Boiling, grilling, frying, nothing can neutralize it. The octopus is as dangerous dead as it is alive. The hidden numbers, the true scope of encounters with this strange invertebrate remains shrouded in uncertainty. While we know of at least 3 confirmed deaths, the actual number of incidents is likely far higher than official records suggest. Many encounters go unreported entirely. In remote fishing villages across the Indo-Pacific, a sudden paralysis might be attributed to other causes, or the victim might die before medical help arrives. Language barriers, limited medical infrastructure, and cultural differences in reporting all contribute to a statistical blind spot. Even more concerning is how the creature's rarity works against medical preparedness. Most emergency responders will never see a blue-ringed octopus bite in their entire careers. The symptoms can be mistaken for stroke, heart attack, or drug overdose. Precious minutes are lost while doctors rule out more common causes of sudden paralysis. The geographic location of incidents tells its own story. Australia accounts for the majority of documented cases, not necessarily because encounters are more frequent there, but because the country has the medical infrastructure to properly diagnose and report them. Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and the Philippines, regions where these octopuses are equally common, show suspiciously few official reports. Seasonal patterns emerge from the limited data available. Most incidents occur during warmer months when both octopuses and humans are more active in shallow waters. Holiday periods see spikes in encounters as tourists venture into unfamiliar waters, often without local knowledge of the dangers lurking in seemingly harmless tide pools. The changed ocean. Knowledge changes everything. Once you know about the blue-ringed octopus, you can never look at the ocean the same way again. That innocent tide pool becomes a potential crime scene. That colorful flash beneath the coral takes on sinister possibilities. The very beauty of the reef becomes suspect. This is perhaps the creature's greatest victory. Not the handful of lives it has claimed, but the countless minds it has touched with doubt. Every snorkeler who hesitates before reaching into a crevice, every parent who warns their child to think before picking up that pretty shell, every diver who approaches the reef with newfound respect, they've all been changed by the knowledge of what waits in the shallows. This beautiful but deadly inhabitant forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth, that we are visitors in an alien world, one where our rules don't apply. In the ocean, size doesn't determine dominance. Beauty doesn't mean safety. And the most dangerous predators often come in the smallest packages. Perhaps that's the real horror of this marine assassin. Not the venom, not the paralysis, not even the conscious suffocation. It's the realization that no matter how advanced we become, how confident we feel in our mastery of the natural world, we remain vulnerable to creatures we could crush beneath our fingertip. The ocean doesn't care about our technology, our medicine, our pride. It simply is. And in its depths, in its shallows, in every drop of salt water, it holds secrets that can end us with nothing more than a curious touch. That knowledge stays with you forever. The silent passenger. Come on, James, live a little. Katie raised her wine glass, grinning across the table. When's the last time you tried something new? I looked down at the menu again. The Friday night restaurant crowd buzzed around us, all laughter and clinking glasses. Connor was already 3 beers deep, telling some story about his latest dating disaster. Lily kept stealing fries from everyone's plates. Just another night out with the usual crew. The seafood medley looks good, I said, pointing to the special. Says it's got prawns, calamari, mixed catch from the Pacific. Fancy, Connor snorted. I'm getting a burger like a normal person. Of course you are, Connor, Katie shot back. But James has actual taste buds. While we waited for the food, the conversation drifted to weekend plans. Katie's recent promotion, Connor's ongoing war with his neighbor's dog. Just the usual Friday night chatter. Everyone relaxed, wine flowing. That comfortable rhythm you fall into with good friends. 20 minutes later, my seafood medley arrived. Beautiful presentation, little rings of calamari, perfectly grilled prawns, and various pieces of mixed seafood scattered throughout. Nothing remarkable about it, just small brownish pieces mixed in with everything else. I posted a quick photo to Instagram before digging in. How is it? Lily asked. Really good, actually. Kinda sweet. I tried another piece of the mixed seafood. Different texture than I expected, but nice. I finished the plate pretty quickly and was already checking my phone for my ride. "Leaving so soon?" Lily asked. "Early day, tomorrow," I lied. Truth was, I just felt like heading home. Good food, good company. But sometimes, after a busy week, you just want your own couch. Soon, we were settling the bill and calling our rides. "You sure you don't want to share an Uber?" Lily asked. "I'm heading your direction." "Nah, the car's already on its way." "Thanks, though." The sleek black sedan pulled up right on schedule. I said my goodbyes and slid into the leather back seat. "Good evening, James." The car's AI greeted me in its familiar, measured tone. "Welcome aboard. I have your home address programmed as tonight's destination. Estimated arrival time is 13 minutes. Please ensure your seatbelt is fastened." The click of the belt was satisfying. I leaned back, scrolling through my phone as the car pulled smoothly into traffic. The night was perfect. Clear sky, light traffic, that pleasant buzz from good wine and better company. Then I felt it. A weird tingling on my lips, like I'd been eating something too spicy. I touched my mouth absently, figuring it was just the seafood seasoning. The tingling spread to my tongue, then down to my fingertips. I flexed my hands, trying to shake off the strange numbness. Maybe I was more tired than I thought. I tried to sit up straighter, but my muscles felt sluggish, unresponsive. The car glided through an intersection, its sensors reading traffic patterns I couldn't even see, making micro adjustments to our route with mechanical perfection. "Turn around," I tried to say, but it came out as a mumbled slur. "I didn't clearly understand your request. Could you please repeat that?" My hands were completely numb now, lying useless in my lap. I could see them, could mentally command them to move, but they might as well have belonged to someone else. Panic clawed at my chest as the paralysis crept up my arms. "Help," I whispered. "I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. If you're trying to contact emergency services, please say call 911 clearly." "Call." I tried, but my voice was barely a breath. The muscles in my throat weren't working right. Each word took enormous effort, like trying to speak through thick mud. The car maintained its steady 65 miles per hour, following traffic laws with inhuman precision. Other cars flowed around us, their drivers probably singing along to the radio or talking on hands-free calls, completely unaware that someone was dying just feet away. My legs had gone completely dead. I couldn't feel the seat beneath me anymore. The car's climate control hummed softly, maintaining that perfect 72 degrees. The navigation system recalculated our route around some construction, adding 2 minutes to our arrival time. "Current traffic conditions are favorable," the AI reported cheerfully. "We should arrive on schedule." I wanted to scream, to bang on the windows, to do something to signal that I needed help. But my body was shutting down system by system, and my mind could only watch in horror as control slipped away. The seafood, Jesus Christ, the seafood. Those brown, harmless-looking pieces, that sweet taste I'd enjoyed so much. I'd eaten my own death sentence, posted it on Instagram with a smile. My chest felt tight now, each breath requiring conscious effort. The car's advanced safety systems monitored tire pressure, brake temperature, fuel efficiency. Everything except the fact that their passenger was suffocating in the back seat. "Approaching your neighborhood," the AI announced, preparing for final approach to destination. I could see my street up ahead, the familiar row of houses where I'd lived for 3 years. My porch light was on. I'd set it on a timer months ago. The car's headlights swept across my driveway as it executed a perfect turn. "Arrived at destination. Thank you for choosing AutoRide. Have a pleasant evening." The engine went silent. The doors remained locked until the system completed its shutdown sequence. Standard safety protocol. I sat in the darkness of my own driveway. 20 feet from my front door. 15 feet from where my neighbor Mr. Rodriguez might be watching late-night TV. But I couldn't move, couldn't call out, couldn't even lift my hand to tap on the window. My breathing was getting shallower. Each breath was a monumental effort, my diaphragm struggling against the advancing paralysis. The car's interior lights dimmed automatically after 60 seconds, leaving me in the gentle glow of the dashboard. The blue-ringed octopus. I remembered now from some nature documentary years ago. The warning rings that only appeared when it was alive and threatened. When it was dead, cooked, served on a beautiful plate with herbs and garnishes, just another piece of seafood in an upscale medley. My phone buzzed with a text from Katie. "Get home safe, great dinner tonight." I could see the message on my lock screen, but my fingers wouldn't move to respond. The paralysis had reached my chest now. Each breath was harder than the last. Outside, the suburban night was peaceful. Sprinklers whispered across lawns. A cat picked its way delicately across the street. My house sat waiting. Doors locked, alarm system armed, completely secure. And I sat in my driveway, dying alone in the back seat of the world's safest car with the taste of my killer still sweet on my paralyzed tongue. The last thing I remember was the car's battery conservation mode kicking in, dimming the dashboard lights to save power. Even in death, the machine worked exactly as designed.